love, techno, cunt. Bonjour, salam, gumo, hello. This is another episode of Love, Techno, Cunt. And let's arm the dolls. Let's get real with this episode. I'm mad. I'm super mad. I'm mad at society. I'm mad at cis people. I'm mad at every fucking person who's not able to check their own impulses and lives in this world as if they are the threshold of human interactions. And what I also am mad at is people who cloak themselves in allyship and think that that's enough. Like putting yourself in a Protect the Dolls shirt and not actively doing something for dolls in your community, in your neighborhood, in your vicinity is a bit iffy to me. So what I want this episode to be is a call to action. People, let's get our shits together. Let's look left and right and see which trans people we can support. And by support, I mean share their fundraisers, donate to their fundraisers, actively seek for job opportunities that we can give trans people, because trans people have it harder in the job career sector in this life. Let's just call it what it is. Transphobia is real and it's omnipresent. By arming the dolls, I mean just physically arming, that's one thing. Giving them opportunities for mental health care, giving them guest lists, giving them spots at spaces of freedom. Girl, I don't know, just, like every opportunity that you think of that would help you, try to think of a trans person in your neighborhood or in your life and maybe give that to them. We as non-trans people have a responsibility to support them. They are the smallest fragment of the queer community, I would feel like the smallest percentage when it comes to the LGBTs. And but they have the most to contribute because they flip the script. They challenge colonial patriarchal norms so hard that is so inspirational for all of us. And there's so much to learn. I speak from personal experience. The trans people in my life that have shaped me and gave me inspiration have liberated me so much in ways that I could never have dreamed of. I could have never have thought of, even though I'm so quote unquote educated on so much political stuff. But queerness and liberation happens in your mind and in your soul. And trans people do that. If there's a higher intelligence in this universe, a spiritual intelligence, whatever you want to call it, they put trans people on this earth to guide us, to show us how society is meant to be, through personality, through community, through values, and through a sense of strong self, rather than hierarchy and norms and control. Like trans people always show us, and that's why trans people were celebrated and what's it called? I won't say worship, but like in pre-colonial times in native societies, trans people, non-binary people were always hailed as special members of the community because they saw that trans people have always existed and they will always exist. And when you have trans people in your life that you befriend with, that you support, and that you interact with, you will see as a cis person or as a non-trans person how much they can teach you by just existing and just being themselves. It's just otherworldly inspirational to me. So on this point, I want to say big thank you to every trans person in my life. I owe you my liberation, a part of my liberation, by you teaching me so many things. And as a result of that, I dedicate a huge part of my social justice fight to the liberation of you. So that I want to preface. Let's just talk about the nitty gritty. What do I mean when I talk about the trans liberation? What does it mean for me? trans people are just a small percentage in the world, and yet they always are at the forefront of liberation movements. When you look at the history and you see liberation movements, when it's the queer movement, when it's any form of also decolonial movements, the single leaders that are in those movements that are pushing the boundary are always trans and non-binary people. Like, how comes it? Like, why? And when you go into the queer theory, when you talk to trans people, when you see how much dedication they put into themselves and in their communities, you understand why. Because a fight for freedom is a fight for trans people. And I think, politically speaking, there can never be a liberation movement without trans people at the forefront. And for that, I'm always grateful. Like, as a person who was socialized as a cis gay male, I know how much trans people have done for me historically. In brackets, I always say, not that these things are transactional, but it's always important to know history, and it's always important to know which people have done what in order to get us to where we are right now. So trans liberation for me is understanding that this small percentage of people have done so much for society right now, by existing, by fighting, and it is our responsibility to acknowledge that, to see at history, to see at how institutions of power target this small percentage of people in order to frame them as some sort of villain. And here comes our part: protect them, arm them, and do the things that are important to keep them alive. So what can we do? I want to keep this simple. Protecting the dolls means, like, you hear the phrase protect the dolls, right, so many times. And I don't want to blame anyone for putting that t-shirt on and just putting that out there. If that's what you do, and if I don't know what you do behind the scenes, so I'm not judging, but I want people to understand that this is not like, we can always do more. Look left and right what the trans people around you need. Share their fundraisers, give money to their fundraisers, look for job opportunities. If in your office or whatever where you work is an open job thingy, try and ask some trans people in your life if they want to have that job. Ask your boss if you can recommend jobs from your place to trans people. Make it an active choice, like an active thing in your brain to look for opportunities to support trans people. Because there's so many trans people who are struggling because the systems of power will keep them unemployed, uninsured, and just, society, like patriarchy and capitalism and colonialism, want them to be powerless. And I refuse that, and you should refuse that too. It's our job as non-trans people to uplift them and to seek for active chances and opportunities to put them in better positions. So I challenge you who's listening right now, look at the trans people around you. What do they need? Ask them. Ask them what they need, and look what you can contribute in order to make their lives better. If it's just a guest list at a party, if it's, I don't know, after they got fired after a job, bringing them food, looking at job opportunities around you, I don't know, make it a conscious effort to support trans people in your life. I want you to do that. And if someone's doing a fundraiser for their FFS, or I don't know what trans people also need, like they will tell you at their fundraisers. Share that, donate that to them, make it a priority in your life. Okay, this is what I want to get out there. Arm the dolls. Arm the dolls with food, with security, with friendship, with community, with love, because trans people are our inspirational leaders, and I love them so much. And And I know you do too. So let's keep going together, hand in hand, because we're one community. We're against one common enemy. And let's never forget which people really teach us how to be ourselves and how to flip the script to make space for love. Okay, this is a very rage-filled episode, per usual. But I just want to just say that. I just feel like this is a message that should be heard. And yeah, so arm the dolls, love the dolls, and honey, we will be free.